Good afternoon. Today I'll be talking about my sound installation named Modern Forms of Nourishment. My concept. My installation presents the effect of climate change in the specific realm of food. I have created a sound which is informative and places discomfort on the listener. My installation requires headphones and food from 2050 based off my research. When the viewer is consuming the futuristic food, they will also be listening to the audio, which I have created. The video I have created is an example of how the public may interact with my installation. Audience. My installation is targeted at everyone who is willing to try foods of our future. There is no specific age demographic. However, the audience may shift depending on the day and the dietary requirements, as each day a new food will be presented. For example, lab-grown meat will not be an acceptable food for a group of people. Research. With growing pressures from a rising world population, global warming, inequality to access to food, and changing views on sustainability, the food we will eat will undergo major changes in the future. Dr. Walter Willett states, global consumption of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and legumes will have to double, and the consumptions of foods such as red meat and sugar will have to be reduced by more than 50%. A diet rich in plant-based foods and with fewer animal source foods confers both improved health and environmental benefits. This graph here shows that the world population will obviously increase by the year 2050. Inevitably, the demand for food will increase as well. However, we are unable to keep up with the demand. Therefore, we must trial new products which are renewable and will use less energy to grow. This image here shows how my installation will be set up. The plate on top of the stand will hold a different food each day. The images in this slide show how the installation will look. The foods will change daily, therefore the installation will never be the same as the previous day. Here's a demonstration of how the interactive experience will work in real life. As you can see, when I click float, it triggers these sounds to play, depending on the time listed below. This will alternate from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Change is stimulated when someone lifts a piece of food off the plate. This will be actioned by a weight sensor. When the weight is shifted, the recording will begin. A recent report from the UN urged more of us to put insects on our plates, saying it could help fight hunger, boost nutrition, and reduce pollution. Crickets are a sustainable protein alternative. Seaweed is a food of our future. Seaweeds like kelp require no feed because they grow through photosynthesis. They capture carbon that enters the oceans from greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. People have been eating edible seaweeds for centuries. The majority of us already consume a lot of plant-based proteins like beans, legumes, and nuts. We prepare to see more of that moving forward, since these crops have a lower environmental impact compared to animal-based proteins, while also remaining inexpensive. In fact, products of beans, lentils and nuts are expected to increase by nearly 100 to 200% by 2050, while red meat protein sources are expected to decrease in production by about 75%. Lab-grown or cultured meat is already on the rise. This product involves growing proteins from animal cells in a lab in order to produce meat without requiring space or resources needed for factory farms. Not only are these little squirmy things packed with protein, fibre, omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins, but they're also way more environmentally friendly than red meat. Harvesting mealworms generates just 4% of the greenhouse emissions that producing red meat does.